Welcome back to SBR Forum Videos. Our coverage continues of the AFC Conference, and I'm taking a look at the AFC South division that a lot of people seem to think that the Indianapolis Colts are going to run away with here this season. And at minus 400 from Bovada Sportsbook to win the division, I tend to agree that the Colts are going to definitely be a 10 to 12 win football team this season. Absolutely have another outstanding year, and with the additions they brought in, veterans like Frank Gore to help the running game, and Andre Johnson give them yet another weapon here for Andrew Luck. It sure does look like the Colts are in Super Bowl or bust mode this season. Now, whether or not they're going to win it after being the runner-up in the AFC Conference last season is another story. However, I do think the Colts have some issues here, especially on the other side of the football. Their defense has been solidly improving over the last 2 or 3 seasons. However, it's normally, but I think their defensive numbers are a little bit inflated because, of course, as you know, they get to play the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans 4 times in a year. Now, whether or not that's going to inflate their defensive numbers this year or not is really left to be seen. However, the Colts is still a really good bet here to win this division. While I'm not recommending you lay the chalk here with them at minus 400, I do think they are a pretty solid bet in the future odds here, potentially to win the AFC Conference. So, while not for the AFC South, I will definitely recommend them to win the AFC. Coming in right behind them is the Houston Texans, a team that really surprised a lot of people with the Bill O'Brien turnaround that they put forth last season, going 9-7 on the year, winning 4 of their last 5 games. The Houston Texans should be once again a very solid football team, and I think they can make the playoffs here in the AFC as a wild card team. As I mentioned, they had a really good end of the year last year. Bill O'Brien has become somewhat of the quarterback whisperer, so the battle between Brian Hoyer and Ryan Mallett should be good, and he's going to get the most out of either of those guys, whoever ends up starting. And of course, we're going to get a really up close and personal look at this team through HBO's Hard Knocks, but other than the quarterback situation and maybe some issues on offense, their running game and defense is absolutely going to be top tier, and I think that's going to lead them into the playoffs here in 2015. Arian Foster is still one of the best running backs in the entire NFL, and with the addition of Vince Wilfork to go along with Jadeveon Clowney and J.J. Watt, this defensive line is absolutely intimidating. Don't sleep on the Houston Texans in 2015. Now, coming up in the rear here, we have the Tennessee Titans at 14 to 1 to win this division. Of course, Ken Whisenhunt could be on the hot seat this season. He needs to get Marcus Mariota to start contributing to this offense from week 1. And I think he'll have a pretty solid season. I'm not expecting too much from the Tennessee Titans this year. They still have one of the, if not the youngest clubs in the entire NFL. And at 14 to 1, way down on the NFL future odds, you're not looking at them right now as a viable option to win anything this year more than 4 or 5 games. And finally, the Jacksonville Jaguars come in at 16 to 1 to win this division. I would actually rank Jacksonville over Tennessee this season just because I think their defense is going to be at least solid this season. Of course, offensively, they still have some question marks, but at least they're trying to rebuild here under Gus Bradley. And even though a lot of people think that Bradley's seat's getting a little warm, personally, what did you expect from him in the first 2 years in Jacksonville? I personally didn't expect too much. He only won 7 games, of course, in his last 2 seasons, but Jacksonville is steadily improving, whether or not it's taking slower than normal or not. They brought in Julius Thomas to help out Blake Bortles, which I think is absolutely a positive move for this club going forward. However, not really expecting too much from them at 16 to 1 from Bovada to win this division. But that'll do it for the AFC South. Make sure you check out some of our other divisional previews here in the AFC coming throughout the week, as well as a couple of my other videos I'll be releasing here thanks to Swinging Johnson's article on some potential AFC surprises this offseason. But until next time, for SBR Forum Videos, I'm Jordan Sharp.